couple of years ago, Harley-Davidson discontinued the Iron 883, and this was one of the best-selling low-capacity cruisers in the world. Now, I think you can still buy these in America, but you cannot in Europe anymore because they don't meet the current Euro 5 regulations. Now, when they discontinued this bike, they left a massive hole in the market. But have Royal Enfield filled that hole enough?
Yeah, and if they are the bike that's filled that hole, I can't think of another make that has. So I think really with this Shotgun 650 and the Super Meteor 650, they're really the only bikes that kind of may have filled that hole or not. We'll discuss that now.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Apart from the Royal Enfield, what other bikes do you think may have filled that hole?
Well, nothing exactly, but I mean, you've got the Kawasaki Vulcan 650, which has been out for a while, but it's not very characterful, it's not very pretty, it's very sort of clinical of a cruiser.
It's a bit of a modern bike dressed up to look like a old school cruiser, but it isn't, is it?
Yeah, it is. I suppose the Honda Rebel 500 would come in under that.
Same.
Again, the same problem.
Yeah.
The new Kawasaki Eliminator 500, which I rode in Spain.
Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
So I suppose there might be a few others. Let us know in the comments below. But not a lot, apart from the Royal Enfield and the Super Meteor. Jimny. Snap.
Jimny?
Yeah, nice car. That's a brand new one.
Normally we'd stop filming when a car goes by, but that was quite a nice car.
Yeah.
I've got a Jimny. It's a shame though, isn't it? If an E-Type Jag went past, you know, we would embrace that in the film, but most people have horrendous cars, don't they?
Yeah, and it's interesting actually, because I'm looking at changing car, but it's unbelievable how expensive just a rubbish car is. Oh. You pay 10 grand for a pile of rubbish now.
I know,
you can't even buy like a Land Rover Defender that's got a hole in it for 10 grand.
The cars are just so bland now, some of them aren't, but most of them are, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And these are not bland.
No.
This one especially is full of character, isn't it? It really is.
No, it's interesting. We rode off from the dealership, thanks to Sycamore Harley-Davidson, by the way, for lending us the bike today.
Yeah.
We rode off, I was on this, and Darcy went in front. And immediately I thought, God, the sound of that engine. These engines really do sound nice. It's got obviously aftermarket pipes. What pipes has that got?
Yeah, this is Vance & Hines mini grenades.
They sound amazing.
They sound
this has got the
fantastic.
standard pipe, so you know we can't compare directly the sound, but with decent pipes on this, it does sound nice, but not exactly.
No, it's not. And the character that this Harley engine produces, especially at low RPM, you feel the vibrations. When you start it up, you get a shake into life.
Yeah.
There's so much character to it, which is completely lacking on the Royal Enfield.
Yeah. I mean, we usually say these are characterful bikes, but I don't think, comparing it to the Harley, it has the same character, does it?
No, I mean, this is characterful in a very agricultural way. It really is crude. And it's probably not particularly good in a way, but it is if you like it.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? What makes it not good makes it good.
Yeah.
The people that try and make comments occasionally say, "Oh, it's like a tractor." That's a good point. You know, it sounds amazing. Like, you know, we like that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
This is very smooth, very buttery, very perfect, if you like. But that kind of makes it a little bit bland by comparison. And we do love Royal Enfields, of course. But the engine on this, I was following Darcy, and I wasn't sure how much he was giving it, but I was really having to thrash this to keep up. So that's got a lot more low down torque than this has, and you can really feel that when you're moving. I mean, neither of them are fast, powerful bikes by sort of modern motorbike standards, if you like, but you know, they're plenty fast enough. But this pips it with the torque, I think, and gets it moving easier.
Yeah. Now, if you like motorcycles like we do, then you're probably in the right place, and perhaps you should consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done already. It's absolutely free to do so. We appreciate every single one of you, and the more subscribers we get, the more we can put back into the videos and try and make them better and better. Although I think we're doing pretty well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So yeah, make sure you subscribe and we'll carry on with the video.
Yes. When we got to the traffic lights, I stopped and looked over at Darcy's bike. I thought, oh, that's so cool. And I felt like I wish I was on that one. So you do get that feeling. Not to say this isn't any good, but like I say, it's just a little bit. I don't want to say vanilla because it's good, but by comparison. But then this is really crude and raw. So, you know.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
And in terms of riding position, they feel quite different. The Iron, you feel much more into the bike, you're more low down, and the pegs actually I felt quite cramped, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, this is probably a better riding position.
It is, yeah. These need forward controls.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, I don't know if they're standard handlebars. They're very narrow. I don't think they are.
They are standard, I think.
They're too narrow if they are. I don't think they are.
They are.
But obviously with Harley, you can put anything you like on it because there's so many accessories. And so you can with the Royal Enfield, but more so with the Harleys. And you can change the seat, you can change the handlebars, you can change the pegs. They've got horrible engine guards on this. I'd take them off. So, I mean, you can make it look like you want it to look, can't you?
Yeah, there's so much you can do in terms of customization that no other brand can match that other than Harley. It really is the most customizable bike on the market. This Royal Enfield Shotgun 650 is going after that. That is kind of the motto they're trying to go for. Oh, I just touched the back of this, really oily. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And they put some really slippery seat cleaner on that. I was slipping all over the place.
Ugh, got oil all over my hand now. Great.
Don't wipe it when you drive it.
Oh, I don't know where to wipe it. Another point about the riding position is the kind of exhaust gets a bit in the way of your foot on the Iron.
And the air cleaner.
And the air cleaner gets in the way of your knee. So ergonomically, the Royal Enfield is more comfortable.
Much better.
You're much more on top of the bike, so you do feel higher up, don't you?
Yeah.
Less sort of cruiser style riding position, I would say. But if this had forward controls, I think it'd be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's probably set up as standard more for a shorter rider. So if you are, 5'7", you'd be okay on this.
Yeah.
They are heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And a lot of people in the Harley world always call the Iron a girl's bike. I don't know why that's meant to be derogatory. Anyone can ride any bike. But there's some sort of willy waving competitions going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
So it is a bit silly,
Yeah.
because this is the smallest of the Harley range. It's like, oh, my engine's bigger than yours,
But they do need this bike still, don't they?
They do.
The new sports that replaced it's a completely different animal. It's not even remotely the same, is it?
No, I
It's
don't like
much
it
too
at all.
fast, too revvy, too modern. It hasn't got the character, hasn't got the looks. It's just sort of almost a fake looking Harley with the engine covers and things like that too.
Yeah.
This is sadly missed, I think. So has this replaced it then? I don't know.
Possibly in the new market, yeah.
But it sort of has, hasn't it? But it sort of hasn't because it doesn't quite have that eventful experience that you get when you ride a Harley.
No.
Of course you can modify it and improve that a little bit. But I don't think you'd ever match that engine character if you really go for the exhaust and what have you on the Harley. You're never going to get that on this.
No.
But not everyone wants that, of course, do they? But,
No, of course.
So it does feel old now, doesn't it, riding it?
Yeah.
Compared to this. We were talking about the bikes off camera, and I said that this feels like a non-alcoholic beer, whereas that feels like
A whiskey.
yeah, the whiskey. So that's the difference. It's kind of, it almost feels like a toy. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not. This feels like the real deal, but then it's crude and it's raw and it's not refined, and there are things that are wrong, about the design and everything. It's far from perfect, but that feels sort of so kind of good and done that it feels almost like a toy.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think with this kind of bike, you want character and you want rawness, and I think the Shotgun 650 doesn't feel as characterful or as raw as an Interceptor, and it should do. It should probably be more so, and it should be more dramatic.
Yeah, they could have taken that further in the other direction, but I think they've gone the other way, haven't they?
They have, really. And obviously when you do put an exhaust on it does make it a completely different experience, but you're never going to get that sort of vibrations, the shakes of the engine and the sound it makes. Another thing about the engines is this has definitely got a much larger flywheel than the Royal Enfield, because when you rev it, it takes ages to rev up the revs and come back down again, whereas this is much quicker. So that's an interesting point.
When you ride the Harley, you kind of ride it in a really ragged way. You feel you want to ride it like this. You know, you want to go around like that. Whereas this, you sit there nicely and gentlemanly and, you know, good morning, sir, and all that sort of thing. With this, you kind of... It kind of makes you into a bit of a yobbo.
Yeah, it is. It's a yobbo bike, really.
Yeah, but looking at it now, it looks a little bit sort of poor in terms of the swing arms, just a box section, metal, and it's kind of crude and put together. Whereas this,
it's very American.
It's very nicely put together and styled and designed. You can see the difference.
You can, and the thing with Harleys is they do hold the value very well, and I think these might have actually started to creep up again. Because the value of new Harleys is going up and up and up, this seems to be creeping up again. This particular one is on the market for $7,995. Now this Royal Enfield is about $6,500 brand new today. And this is a 2017 Harley-Davidson. So that just shows you, this is a 7-year-old bike and it's more money than a brand new Royal Enfield.
Yeah, comment now, which one would you go for? Would you go for a second-hand Harley Iron 883? Or a new one of these? Practicality wise, I think the Royal Enfield Shotgun pips the Harley-Davidson Iron. As an everyday rider, it's much better, it's easier, it's smoother, it does everything. You can get accessories for it as you can with that. The way this one's been accessorised, and I'm sure the bars are different, the engine guard, the little rack on the back.
Are standard.
I think they spoilt it.
Yeah, they have. It's not been customised particularly well, but the things they put on it are easily bolted off, and you can really make this thing very cool. I mean, you used to have a custom iron, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And that was our first sort of viral video, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's done well. But, you know, we didn't even talk in that one, did we? We just filmed the bike.
We didn't talk once.
But, you know, looking back, I wouldn't buy it now.
No.
I would certainly wouldn't. With this, I can't remember, this is the Shotgun 650. With the Super Meteor 650, is the foot position the same? I can't remember.
I think it is, but it might be forward. Is it forward?
If you can remember,
I can't
because we're going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
Let us know. But I think both of us feel that perhaps I don't know, let's have a look. The foot position, no, I don't know, it's okay actually.
It's fine on that.
You do feel you're on top of this, don't you?
You do, yeah. On the Iron, you do feel much more into the bike.
And that is kind of a Royal Enfield thing. It does that. It feels like a Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
And I don't think Royal Enfield are trying in the least bit with these bikes to make them fast hooligan bikes. They're just sensible everyday bikes. And
they are.
For that, they're perfect, aren't they?
And I think they clearly are going after the market that is left, but they're not going after it in the sense that they're trying to make a bike that feels exactly like that, because it doesn't. But it does fill that gap of, if you want a brand new small capacity cruiser that doesn't look like a modern sort of extremely characterless bike like a Honda or a Kawasaki, then this is a good option, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would take either of these over any of the modern sort of plasticated bikes that are on offer. Revy sort of, you know the bikes we mean if you follow the channel. They're both super duper bikes.
Yeah.
But if I was going to pay my money, do you know what? I don't know what I'd do, because you could do so much with this Royal Enfield to make it more characterful.
Yeah.
Or you could go and buy a second-hand Iron that with really low mileage like this one, and you've got that eventful experience. It's a hard one, isn't it?
It is. In terms of stopping power, I'd say the brakes on the Royal Enfield are twice as good as the ones on the Harley. Harleys aren't particularly known for having great brakes, are they?
No. And the handling on this is sharper and it turns easier and all that.
Does,
but then a little bit too much. They've steepened the rake on this one. I don't think they should have done that. This has got a more raked out fork, which I like, but then it's got quite a massive front wheel, which doesn't help with the steering and the turning.
No.
But it rolls over bumps nicely.
It does.
So this is more
nice
manoeuvrable. Yeah. But I think because of the seating position, the way you're in the bike, it's harder to handle that bike than it is this one, isn't it?
It
You've got
is.
to be ragged.
Yeah, and also in slow speed in car parks or taking it out your garage, shunting it about, this Royal Enfield is way easier. This feels very hard to push around. It feels very heavy when you're pushing it around. So that is not the case with the Royal Enfield.
No, I agree. Before we came out, I went onto Royal Enfield's website to look at the figures on this briefly. But it's a really difficult website to navigate. When you scroll down, you do that, and then it sort of brings up these things. So it's not actually scrolling down, so it's bringing up all these things like that. Then you're trying to just find the specs. It took me quite a long time to find. I was getting annoyed with it. So if you're watching Royal Enfield, just make your website simple, because sometimes you want to go there, get some information and get out.
And I've just gone on it now.
Yeah.
And when you click motorcycles to see the range, it loads the ones from the bottom of the list first. So you go to scroll down and it's scrolling down, but you're scrolling and it's popping up new ones above. So you're scrolling to the bottom, but you're not seeing what's...
Yeah. It's
no,
far
no.
too complicated. Just keep it simple. Works better. But we're looking at the power and the torque figures to compare these bikes directly. And what else are we looking at? And the weight.
The weight. So the Shotgun weighs, this is curb weight, so with 90% fuel and oil, 240 kilograms. The Iron is 255, so only 15 kilos more. So not a lot.
No,
the Shotgun produces 47 horsepower at 7,250 RPM and 52.3 newton meters of torque at 5,650.
When you looked at, is that on Royal Enfield's website?
Yeah.
Because when I looked it up, it said the power in kilowatts.
It does, yeah, but I know that 35 kilowatts is 47 horsepower because of the A2 licence, because I had to be a nerd about it.
Well, that annoyed me as well, because I thought, what the hell are kilowatts?
I know.
I mean, it's not an electric bike, so this is obviously, that's the way
the
we're going,
new
isn't
thing,
it?
yeah.
But that's annoying, so I had to sort of go to a conversion website.
Yeah.
And then every time you go to a new page on Royal Enfield's website, you get this cookie thing come up, and you go, block the cookies. I don't want cookies, so it would be nice if it just did it once, but I don't want to accept cookies, I want to reject cookies.
Now, the Iron produces 52 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, so this isn't quite compatible with the A2 licence, even only by 5 horsepower, so you then have to restrict this bike, even though it weighs slightly more, so the power to weight ratio is probably the same. Stupid government.
Yeah.
And it produces 71 newton meters of torque, so a fair bit more torque, at 3,750 RPM, so a lot lower.
That's why you feel that grunt from low RPM, because it's giving you more torque. You know, at 2,500, it's got a lot more torque than that has. Oh God, the camera.
Oh Christ.
Now, obviously when we edit videos, you don't see what happens, but where we've chosen today, you know, in a very rural location, I mean, there's car after car after car, van after van after van, we're backwards and forwards, moving the camera, because the camera's in the road at the moment, because we wanted a closer up shot, so sometimes it can be quite annoying, can't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's just part and parcel of what we do, and we edit all that out normally, don't we?
Yes, we do. Another thing while I'm looking at them, the dial on the 883 is definitely nicer than the one on the Shotgun, isn't it?
Yes, and it's in the middle.
It's in the middle.
Which is where it should be.
Bang on in the middle.
Yeah, this, I mean, I'll be out of shot. They've got the little tripper thing. Don't off-centre it. Put the dial in the middle and the little one on top or bottom. It should not be to the side and side by side. So
well, it could be on the side, but still attached to it, couldn't it? Like slightly to the right on the top of it.
Growth.
Yeah, like a growth.
But it's still the main dial should always be in the middle.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody. Well, one person commented out of 9,000 on one video said they like it on the side, but most people don't.
No, and the only other case where it's not in the middle is if you've got twin dials, and again, it's still central.
When I went to move the camera just then, I looked back at the bikes and I thought to myself, in terms of looks, which one would I go for? I thought the Royal Enfield actually looks nicer on the whole than that. And the only reason I think that Harley gets me is that engine and that sound. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything on it that I would choose over that. What do you think?
Well, I think I kind of think it looks better. I think the wheels are nicer. I like the sort of the shape of the bike, silhouette-wise, but I do really like the shape of this bike as well. I think the thing that lets this shotgun down for me is the graphics, which I said in the previous video. It looks a bit tacky, and if it was a sort of got rid of the numbers and all that silly plastics, and just made it a nice smooth colour with a cool logo, like on this Harley, it would look much. It could still be two-tone, nothing wrong with two-tone, but not particularly. I don't particularly like the colour schemes on any of the options of this one.
No, I agree. I mean, Royal Enfields always look nice. Most people that buy Royal Enfields want a classic-looking bike. So, you know, if you had a bit of chrome on the tank on the side and a nice bit of red and pinstriping and all that sort of stuff, that's what you want, isn't it, on a Royal Enfield?
Yeah, I mean, they've really gone for the blacked-out look, haven't they? It's super blacked out,
Yeah,
which the Iron is as well.
That's why I think it kind of. That's why I said it looks a bit like a toy. It doesn't really. It makes it look plastic, it's not.
It does.
So that's a bit of a shame, really.
I think, though, it's interesting because I feel like the phase of blacking everything out has come away. I think we've come away from that. But we certainly have in the car world, because there was a certain amount of time where everyone wanted black wheels, take away all the chrome, and that's gone the other way. Everyone wants silver wheels or grey. But bikes seem to have caught up, but taken sort of 10 years behind. So now they're blacking everything out, and I just think it doesn't look good.
No, like you say, it's probably the end of that fashion, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really. That's loud, isn't it?
Yeah, humans everywhere. Well, I was going to remark actually. We were just driving up and down. We used to live near here, and the road verges have been left more so than when we were here, and it looks so beautiful to have lovely long road verges. And you do get people that complain from time to time saying, "Oh, the council are not doing it. We're paying all the council tax, they're not cutting the road verges." But for beauty, for nature, for wild butterflies and birds and things, it's needed so desperately in this modern world. So don't complain about long grass and wildflowers. It's something that's very important.
Yeah, only on a junction when you can't see, fair enough. But on a straight road, you can neaten up the edge, can't you, and still have some pretty flowers.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the bikes, because we are a motorcycle channel, not a nature film channel. Let us know which one you would choose. So the Iron basically left a hole in the market. We think the Royal Enfield Shotgun and Super Meteor are the only bikes that have really filled that hole. Have they filled them completely?
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Or have they not filled it enough? So
that's what she said again.
She did. So let us know what you think. But would we buy either bike? Well, Darcy wouldn't, because today...
Yeah, I've just put a deposit down on a new bike.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. It's brand new. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but again, put your guesses in the comments below. It will be revealed very soon. Hopefully I'll take delivery of it not too long in the future. But because of that, I need to sell my bike. So if anyone fancies a 2021 Harley-Davidson Softail Standard with 5,000 miles, just under. It's got a stage 1, Vance & Hines twin slash slip-ons. It needs a service, which I will do before I sell it. So it needs its second service. But if you're interested, let me know, or send us a DM on Instagram and I'll let you know the details.